Thanks for joining my channel. In part 1 of this summer dip series, I'll call it, even though it's just 2, I chatted through and showed kind of the data and chart lines of why this is just a summer dip, why it happens every year, and what you should be on the lookout for if you're thinking about picking up cards. This video is just going to go through some of my selections, some of the specific cards that I'm looking at right now that I would think about, and why they would be good pickups either now or in the next month or so. Welcome back to the Poke-Ticker. Let's see what the market's telling us. The first card I have for you here is the Mewtwo V from Pokemon Go. You can see over here on the right, it's been out for a little while, but it's just now coming up to about its top price, or a little bit over its top price from when it first came out. Had quite a big dip here, and you could see last summer, popped off, came down, went up in the fall, followed that nice up and down graphical process. So you could see now it's starting to flatten out, and now I think could be a good time. It has a pretty low PSA 10 population for being an alternate art from the Sword and Shield era. It is a beautiful card in my opinion, even though it has the Pokemon Go stamp, and it's unique from a card style as well. But this is something that I think will continue to go up. Pokemon Go, even though it was printed all over the place, not a lot of people collected it. And so this card, while probably has a lot of copies out there, does not have a lot of PSA 10 copies considering how much it was printed, and is a really cool card. In the next few years, I would anticipate people wanting to collect it, and it'll definitely go up. The next card here is also from the Sword and Shield era. This is the special art rare from the T-Tar. This was also from not a super popular set in Battle Styles, one of the earlier sets from that era. And you could see it's kind of been stagnant for a majority of its time until the last 2 years. And now it's kind of gone up. But it has that nice slow trajectory up where not a lot of people, were manipulating the card. It's a very popular Pokemon. It's a beautiful card in my opinion. This also does not have as many PSA 10s as you would anticipate, and has a fairly tough gem rate, I believe under 50%. If this is, something that a Pokemon you like, kind of art you like, I would definitely suggest picking up this one. Next is the 3 dogs from the Galarian Gallery from Crown Zenith. Now that this set is, several years old, now could be a good buying opportunity. Obviously, if you didn't pick them up here in the 2023 or 2024, you missed kind of that low area, but they're hitting the peak height for before the summer and the early summer, and it will now start to get into that wall. All 3 of them are obviously really beautiful cards. The Suicune and the Entei are my favorite. The Raikou's a little bland, but if you get 1 or 2 of them, you got to get the 3rd one as well. If possible, obviously get them sequentially graded if you're looking to get them graded. But these have a little bit higher pop reports and easier gem rates if you were looking to get them graded. They're the legendary dogs. They're iconic. They go together from one set. So definitely something that I would start looking at as they come down here at the end of the summer. Next card is the Drowzee. This card has had quite an interesting history. Definitely had some manipulation. That's why you see just one giant bump here. But this is still a cool card. It's from one of the original 151 Pokemon, illustration rare. It's not at its top price. It's starting to come down again now, so definitely could get it at a good price. If you can find something that's gradable, great. I know that's a tough ask, but PSA 10s, you can see the jump here from 9 to 10, and this has a low pop. Under 2,000, and the gem rate is, I believe, under like 20% chance. If you can get a good copy and it's something that looks gradable, definitely do so. You'll make your money back, and I anticipate this card will continue to see kind of an upward trajectory as it gets a little older. Next is the Misty Psyduck. I know this one hasn't been out for very long, but you can see it's coming down from that top price it's hit a couple times. It's downward trajectory. There's several beautiful Psyduck cards out recently, so they'll all kind of go together. The Ascended Heroes one comes to mind, obviously. The 151 on the stairs is also iconic. All those Psyduck fans will be getting this one for sure. I know it's a younger card, but definitely something that you should be on the lookout for. It's an illustration rare that also doesn't have a high gem rate for PSA 10s if you were considering grading. Definitely keep this one on your list. Now we have the Eevee from Twilight Masquerade. This one will start rotating out soon. You can see it's had the up and down seasonality over the last couple years. Right now it's near that peak point, but it'll start coming down here in the next month or so. Once it starts coming down, it'll be a really good time to pick it up. Again, beautiful card, has a bunch of Eevees in there. I believe there's one represented for each of the evolutions. Or at least some of them are in there, are represented. So very cool card. Again, low gem rate. For whatever reason, a lot of these Scarlet and Violet illustration rares just don't grade very easily. The next two are both from Surging Sparks, the Latias and the Latios. I would suggest both of them. Again, they go together. Not the oldest card either. You can see it's been really flat, but it's actually below its top prices from back in early 2025, late 2024. It hasn't grown yet, so now would be a really good time to pick it up. Again, does not have a ton of PSA 10s because Surging Sparks was not a popular set. It represents a really good buying opportunity for you to get in before it jumps in price. Similar to the Latios, price high up here at 45. It peaked even below that, and it's on its way down. Again, neither of them have a ton of PSA 10 copies for how recent it is, but both of them are below their top prices, kind of moving on the way down a little bit, and represent a good time to get in before other people do so. The next three are, I just want to point out from a trainer card perspective. So it's a couple of the Ionos here, and then the Carmine. And you'll notice that all of them have the same kind of reverse hockey stick graphical shape, where they started high price and then they've kind of stagnated or gone down a little bit. The reason I call that out is because trainer cards, unless it's a super popular character or a super iconic looking card, they tend to not do very well while the Pokemon do well and go through even bigger kind of dips or shifts than just the regular Pokemon cards. All three of these are more recent, obviously, but if you like the trainer cards, if that's something that you collect, these are pretty nice ones from recent sets that you could get at a low and then possibly sell at a high if you anticipate to hold on to them. Trainer cards right now are in a dip basically across the board with a few exceptions. If that's something that you like or you think is something that you may want to invest in, that's something that you should look at. And these three are just representative of the trainer card market, quote unquote, as a whole, as a representation. So keep that in mind if you're interested in investing in those. Lastly is I wanted to show one example of where you need to be careful. Not everything goes down in that summer lull, even though it's a double set. One of the sets, Black Bolt and White Flare, is not following your typical pattern right now. The set's only about a year old, came out, I believe, in early summer of 2025. And you can see it took a big dip through the beginning of the year, opposite of what everybody else did, and is now on a big upward swing. And these are just three examples of popular cards from the set, but it's indicative of the majority of the set. They're kind of on that upward trajectory. The most likely reason for that is because people really moved on quickly from that set. And also, there was so many illustration rares. Every Pokemon had an illustration rare, so it was just so much to collect. And so this doesn't seem to be following that typical summer dip. Just wanted to end the video kind of calling that out to make sure that you need to check before you just assume that everything takes that dip. Not everything will follow the same pattern. Make sure you're out there reviewing the data and paying attention so you can get a good deal and collect the things when they make the most sense for you. Hopefully you found this helpful. Let me know if there's something that you found that's been priced really well, or a card you've been waiting to get while the summer has been happening and now is a good time. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next video.